but then they get 3.5% commission.
You guys are getting people $12 an hour?
24.
Oh, 24. I'm like, what?
24. Yeah.
Is that even legal anymore? $12?
Yeah. I think minimum wage is like $12.75 or something. I'll do it in front of the team and I'll be like, here's where we're going in 12 months, here's where, because like nobody gets, at least for us, like nobody gets more excited than like how they can progress. Like money's great, opportunity's great, but like where can I progress within this company? And so I'm actually doing it on Monday. I'll be like, all right, here's where the company will be in 12 months. And I'll be like, okay, we have 25 salespeople right now, we'll have 40 in 12 months. We're gonna need one more sales manager, 2 more team leads, a VP of sales, and then on like the service side, we'll have, 8 service people. We'll need 2 team leads and another director of customer success, because our director of customer success will probably ascend to a VP of operations, and like, so it just gets the team thinking like, man, if I like go hard here, like I can fit within this puzzle.
Let's see your like ascension ladder or your org chart up there.
Yeah,
if you don't mind. I think that'd be really cool.
So I don't know that in 12 months we'll have C-suite, but we'll have more director levels. So if this is Matt, we'll just call me the CEO, right? So right now, I'll draw out what we have now, and then we can go.
Future, what you want.
So we have director of sales right here. His name is Ash. Then we have a team lead, and then we have another team lead. So this is Kyle, and this is Clark.
And the director of sales, does this represent the different offices they're at? Or they're all in the same office?
This is all in the same office.
Okay,
this is like the Springfield, Missouri office. So then they have, I believe it's 7 reps per team lead. So the expectations is, now Ash, he sells during AEP, but the rest of the year he doesn't really sell. His job is devoted to helping.
Ash is the director of sales.
Ash is the director of sales. And then
who are these 2 people underneath him, Kyle and
Clark, they're team leads.
Okay.
So their expectation is to bring in $2,000 of new rev per week. Rev is revenue.
Yep.
And then the rest of their time they are spending on helping these reps. So whether it's questions while on the phone, whether it's like a quick 15-minute meeting, whether it's going over KPIs or whatever. So then there's 7 reps.
Call training, stuff like that too.
Hopping on calls, even like sometimes we don't get the agent's license until maybe fully licensed, all the states until about 6 weeks in. So until you've produced $15,000 of revenue for the company, other people are writing that business for you. So that's a transfer to a team lead, transfer to another person within the office, because you have to bring in $15K before we buy all. Like they'll get the Missouri one, but until we buy all of them, you got to produce $15K. So these people are working here, and then their expectation is $5,000 per week of new revenue.
Per person?
Per person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, not everyone hits that every single week, but like consistently, like as long as you're doing 20,000 of new rev per month.
What do you think that equates to on apps?
Probably about 38.
38 a week?
38 a month application.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
PDPs and stuff don't count.
Yeah.
But
ancillary, core.
Yeah. Our average ancillary is 67 a month, which seems to be higher than some, but also lower than
above average. Yeah.
Lower than others. So that's.
And is that primarily? I mean, you're doing cancer, HI. Those are your 2 main products.
HIP's definitely the biggest one. Yeah. Cancer second. DVH is third, and then like we write like no recovery care or short-term care or anything like that.
You need to see what Joe's automating a video to his client base. No matter what, right? About the recovery care part of it.
Yeah, well, either we send it out like a mass email to everybody, but then in conversation form, they'll have just a templated text that we send out with the trigger link. Mm-hmm. They watch the video. Once they click that, they get a follow-up text 3 days after, 7 days after.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been pretty neat. We didn't write any before this year. I didn't write any before I met him in
how much detail home care did you do this year? Shit ton.
I don't know.
A lot.
Yeah. Quite a few apps.
Yeah, we've done home health care, short-term care, recovery care. Like, I don't know that we've written, and it's all HIP and cancer for the most part.
I think that's a great average, 67 a month. I feel like that's definitely above average. I couldn't tell you what ours is.
So and then we write mostly like if it's T65, we're going bankers. If they're taking like more than 3 meds, we're going Medico. with them. Or if Medico's not in the state,
Just not even
probably
chancing
Aetna.
it from an underwriting perspective, just efficiency-wise?
Just get it through. Yeah. And comps like close to the same. We just like relationship-wise and product-wise, bankers like our favorite at least. So then
that makes perfect sense though. The simplicity of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing though, when you have, so like they don't know. Like your reps don't know the difference between what they'd get paid.
Do you give them the ability to write anything besides bankers or Medico?
We have, they don't write any GTL. They have Aetna because of the,
Is that their highest comp though, those two carriers for those two products?
Yeah, so we would have 77, I think, on bankers. And then Medico's not the highest, but just the GI helps out. Yeah. And then on the cancer,
so
I think we have
they just write that for simplicity, or you've told them to write that carrier as number one?
For bankers?
No, for Medico.
They just really it's a rule hey, if you're taking more than 3 meds, just go Medico.
Gotcha.
Kind of.
Because you guys don't want to take the chance of a decline and having an inefficient appointment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And bankers, it's a day turnaround on knowing. So, and then so on the director of ops side, we have, so even though I'm kind of the marketing guy, we still have our media buyer and mail team. So my director of mail is Andrew. He does a great job. Then we have Cameron, who's down here.
Just real quick though, you've got 15 reps internally, 16, 17 with Ash.
I'm pretty sure we have 21, so maybe it's 8 and 8 here. What does that equal?
16 plus
19.
2 above them, 18, 19.
Yeah, okay. That's because, so then over here, which I guess Chris would kind of report to me. Chris is licensed, but he's recruiting now, so he's not necessarily on the sales team.
That's the one you were talking about earlier that you pulled off. Yeah.
Yep. And then my director of ops is licensed as well, and he sold 100 apps in AEP. Yeah. So would I recommend that? It's worked out so far. It'll probably bottleneck us in the future. He's not full-time sales, but like I said, he sold about 100 in AEP, and then the rest of his duties have to do with ops and some marketing and stuff. So the mail team, Andrew and Cameron run the mail house. Media buyer, his name is Noah. Now, I work with these guys a lot, but they don't report to me directly, and that's important. And then on the customer service side, we have a director of customer success. And then we have 6 reps report directly. So 6 customer service reps. Then we have a retention specialist. Her name is Kaylee. Specialist. And that's
it, baby.
That's pretty well it right now. So then
you got one retention specialist?
So this person is licensed. So they'll rewrite, say my clients, they'll rewrite, let's say an agent leaves, they'll rewrite those clients if they need a rewrite. They'll cross-sell, but this person's expectation is $10,000 per month of new rev. And so this is kind of actually something very recent that we made. And so they're not a customer service rep, but they're not a salesperson. They're kind of a hybrid of both. And so they're licensed, all the things. And so
how new is that position?
2 months.
Yeah, it's been working.
But it's a nice ascension process for your customer service rep of someone who maybe wants to make more money, because base level customer service is 24 per hour. And then so the retention specialist gets a small bump on pay to 25 per hour, but then they get 3.5% commission.
You guys are getting people for $12 an hour?
24.
Oh, 24. I'm like, what?
24. Yeah.
Is that even legal anymore? $12?
Yeah. I think minimum wage is $12.75 or something. So this person, they can go from $24 an hour, make a little hourly bump, but also get 3.5% commission. This is a person who doesn't want to be a salesperson at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So then I'll go up here and I'll be like,
but you want to tuck a C-suite above the directors.
12 months from now, here's my assumption of what will happen. So
I think you just move the screen over.
Oh.
If you pinch and move it, maybe?
Maybe. Select. Ah, look at that. This is... So... This one's going to be a lot bigger, but... Okay, so we'll go Matt, Hopefully I'm still alive and everything.
You're still the CEO.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Haven't fired yourself.
Maybe one day I'll be on the board of directors. I'll send myself out of the
There you
CEO role. So then at that point, we just hired a director of finance, so we'll for sure have that. Director of finance. And then there's probably not gonna be too much movement on the other side of things. We will ascend a VP. So we're not gonna get to C-suite yet, but we're gonna get to a VP of operations. So the VP of operations will oversee, we do have a contracting person that I forgot to mention in that one. So contracting, that'll oversee probably a director of contracting. Then we'll have a person under that for like admin level stuff of contracting. Then that VP will oversee director of customer success, of CS. They'll probably, they'll have probably 10 reps under them. Next to them will be a team lead. Probably only need one team lead because service, as you guys know, like it's just not as intensive. Like you're not tracking KPIs down and stuff as much as you are on the sales side. So with that being said, this is nice. I got one of these at the office and now I'm feeling like this is cool. So
yeah,
I just got it. But then VP of operations. So then at that point, then we'll have this is me right now as director of marketing. So we don't necessarily have any leadership other than myself within marketing. And so media buyer, we'll probably need we'll have our male team, which will be 3 at the time, very likely. So director. Now, when I'm presenting this to the team, I'm a bit more vibrant, but male, and then 2 under that, 2 helping. So that's probably what our marketing department will look like. Then we will need an accounting specialist under here. Okay, now the sales side. So finance, operations, marketing. That looks right. So now on the sales side is, right now we have sales manager, 2 team lead, 16 base reps. We're gonna need a VP of sales. And then on the VP of sales side, we'll have sales manager. We're gonna go 3 team leads. I talked to this with my team lead. Same thing over here. This all makes sense, right?
And what do you got? You got 10 start in January?
We have 6.
6, yep.
And then we'll have 8 direct reps.
And this is where you want to be 12 months from now.
So that would be
48.
So, yeah, I think this is where a close idea of where I think we'll be in a year from now, or at least like January of 26.
Yeah.
Like things aren't always.
What do you think is going to be your biggest issue getting there?
Finding a lot of good salespeople. Like it is the recruiting factor.
Yeah.
Oh, we have HR. Yeah. So this is in both, but right now we have a director of HR. And then we have a girl named Regan. She's like an HR assistant. And so they do all of our stuff. We'll probably need another one to be able to recruit that amount of talent. And we also do recruiting we outsource our recruiting too to other downline agents and stuff. They get charged for that. Like it's $3,000 for a salesperson to get them ready to sell and stuff. So,
You outsource salespeople to other downlines?
We will hire and recruit for downline
downlines,
agents at a fee. It's $3,000.
$3,000 to get them trained up, or $3,000 for a finder's fee?
$3,000 to get them ready to sell. So set like up to 7 in-office interviews, filter through we'll run all the ads. We don't make money on it. I can tell you that. It's just solely to help agencies because we'll make money on the production that comes from it.
But it's also a way to freaking get your cost down of you. That's the main thing right there, is it gets you back to whole on your advertising, on your costs for recruiting.
During AEP, we don't hire any internal salespeople. So it's like our HR team's kind of like, they're updating policies, making sure everything's good, but they're not doing a ton of stuff. And so we can help other people.
The way to recycle leads, just like anything else. Yeah.
So that's
It's a lot of bubbles,
30,
Matt.
that's a lot. So 24, 48. And then
You're at about almost 60.
yeah, so we said that we would be at about this is about 70 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so on Monday, I did one of these probably 3 months ago. And like I explained like, hey guys, here's what it takes to get here, and we have a lot of this in our maturity model. But this gets people hyped. Because like if someone's say here right now, they're like, I want to go be a team lead. If someone's a team lead, they want to be a sales manager. If someone is like, for whatever reason, our customer service team, like they're hyped, like they want to be team lead. So that it's like,
yeah, you call it ascension ladder, but it's basically just a corporate ladder.
yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Big old, sure.
Yeah.
Big old pyramid.
Yeah.
So
when did you first promote your first team lead? How many reps?
So the team lead actually came after the sales manager. So we went sales manager, and then we're like, well, the sales manager needs help, but we don't need two. Like it would be inappropriate to have two sales managers. So we kind of went in the middle and did team lead.
How many reps was that at, you think?
10 to 12-ish, somewhere. Like one sales manager wasn't able. That's a lot, managing 10.
And the sales manager isn't selling, really.
This year they sold an AEP, but the rest of the year they're not. Like our AEP at least
They're
is
just
like
mainly training and focusing on what
new reps,
day-to-day operations look like on the sales floor.
They're making sure everyone is hitting their numbers, all doing one-on-ones. They're also, training new people. I don't.
How are they compensated? Based off of the revenue generated by the
So
rep?
they get an 86K base. So team lead goes to 68K. So team lead's not a huge pay bump, but you do get to write for other people for
And
the
what's
state.
the agent pay base?
60K.
Yeah.
So there's also like monthly bonuses based off this. OTE on target earnings for this is probably 120K, 120 to 130, somewhere in there. And then VP of sales goes to 125K base plus incentives. So this OTE is probably 200K here, somewhere in there.
Forgot to post this 1 second.
So do you ever run into the issue with you have reps that are making more than that? 120?
We it's not really an issue. Like
It's not an issue, right? I know, but like.
So like with our team, we're like, do you want to be in a me role or do you want to be in a we
I
role?
like when you said this earlier. This is
So
really good.
it is their decision. Like some people will never ascend,
So just
and that's
wanna stay as
okay.
a rep, and that's it. Yeah.
But me is like, okay, we're gonna start doing in-office appointments. We might start selling bigger life cases, annuities potentially, right? And then we is going up this way. And so some people we recommend, if they say we want to be a we, and we're like, hey, you're gonna have to make some changes to be the we person.
As in.
Like we had a team lead. We actually moved him out of the team lead, and now he's a great salesperson, not a great manager.
Yeah.
So we're like, hey, you're a me person, kind of thing. Tough combos, right? But needed at the same time.
Yeah.
So now I know what's between this is like we'll hit something will go wrong, something's gonna break. So, but this is.
And your biggest problem, you said, would be finding the salespeople. Like marketing and leads is not an issue. To get to that many people.
I mean, like there's a big difference between feeding 20 reps and 48 reps, right? So, like, will we bottleneck?
That's where my head
Probably.
went right away, yeah.
Probably. It's just finding splitting more, testing more, going to we would not do mail if I didn't want to protect against having a second marketing source. So we eventually Facebook's just gonna, I think for just anyone, you're gonna bottleneck Facebook. And so it's we do mail, not because Facebook's definitely more profitable. We do it.
Saturation prevention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what my head immediately goes to is when you do all this mailing, I don't know a single person on the planet mailing a Medicare book.
Yeah, that's also, and handwritten too.
Yeah,
So.
and it's just okay, if you're doing that and Facebook goes to hell in a handbasket, it just gets so expensive, you have scaled that up and you're so insulated and protected. So and that's why I go to all these different lead sources. I love billboards, I love TV, I love our local markets because it's not dependent on Facebook, where everybody's at right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I try to do campaigns that people cannot copy.
Right.
And which, I mean, a Facebook ad, like pretty easy to copy.
Oh yeah.
To build out a mail house and make it all handwritten and hire the staff and buy the machines and put it all out, kind of hard to, anyone could, they're just gonna have to go spend $500,000 or $600,000 to go do it, you know? So before you send out one book, you know?
And that's how I feel about, what we've done with the strategic partnerships. I've got a hospital of 2 million patients, PNC shop with 90,000 clients, that we don't have any additional lead costs, but they are our true partners. And then billboards wise, people can go throw up another billboard, but it takes a while to get brand recognition going.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna be able to withstand, like if it's their first one and they're like up and coming, like
one billboard ain't gonna do anything for you, not a damn thing.
Yeah, and like if they're spending $5,000 a month, they're gonna have to turn that off because it's not working fast enough for them.
Like Joe, you said a billboard in your market's 4,000.
Yeah, for one.
Wild.
Yeah, I can get like 7 for 4.
Yeah, we can run on 2 different TV stations for the same amount for a month.
Yeah, it's nutty.
Well, you guys will have to, hold me accountable.